Hello, and welcome to the abridged version of IWRS 4 Program Completion and Follow-up. I want to thank all of you who joined us live and thank you for your insightful questions. All of those questions have been compiled into a supplemental document that we will post with this presentation. But with the goal of being responsive to your feedback, we've created this abridged version to be mindful of your time as you revisit this content. So let's go ahead and begin. The target audience for this program are individuals who are accountable for data entry, data management, pre-apprenticeship program completion tracking, transition support, follow-up services, and any task related to cohort participants. Some job titles that are included are program administrators, program managers, program coordinators, data entry coordinators, training coordinators, and any individual responsible for entering or maintaining data in IWRS. My name is Christine Flynn, and I'm a grant manager with the Office of Illinois Works Pre-Apprenticeship Program. And I just want to review a couple more of our team members here you can see on this slide, including our Deputy Director, Dr. Norman Ruano, my counterpart, Dan Martinez, Dr. Gia Suggs, who is our training analyst and program coach, and Dr. Vera Lee Robinson, who is also a program coach with our team. Now, during this session, we are going to review program completion and follow-up, but just quickly, let's review kind of the origins of Illinois Works. So Illinois Works was created as a result of Governor Pritzker's commitment to expanding equity in the Illinois construction workforce. The Office of Illinois Works, in partnership with Southern Illinois University's Center for Workforce Development, developed the Illinois Works Reporting System, also known as IWRS. This system allows grantees to track key information about their participants' progress throughout their engagement with the Illinois Works Pre-Apprenticeship Program. During this course, you will be provided with information about the Illinois Works reporting system, including updating completions, uploading required documents, active tracking, and follow-up, as well as our closeout process. Now, by the end of this session, you will be able to describe the role of the Illinois Works reporting system, explain the relationship between IWRS and the pre-apprenticeship lifecycle, navigate the IWRS main page, navigate the participant recruitment and engagement tabs, update completion and follow-up statuses, complete transition and active tracking questionnaires, close out participant graduates, and access Illinois Works programmatic compliance reports. Now, let's go ahead and learn more about Illinois Works reporting system. By the end of this section, you will be able to describe the purpose of the Illinois Works reporting system, or you'll hear us call it IWRS throughout this training, and explain the relationship between IWRS and the pre-apprentice lifecycle. Now, many of you have likely already been introduced to IWRS during one of our previous Illinois Works reporting system webinars, or perhaps at the administrator orientation training. The IWRS Session 1 training was tailored to administrators and focused on provider information, managing users, and specific reporting tools. IWRS Session 2 focused on intake, wraparound services, and the career assessment. And IWRS Session 3 focused on training services. IWRS Session 1 targeted program administrators, but the subsequent sessions targeted all roles accountable for directly interacting with IWRS. The session today is tailored to individuals responsible for completion, active tracking follow-up, and closeout activities. IWRS is a data management and reporting system designed to allow grantees to track pre-apprentice program activities. It is the Illinois Works internal facing system for compliance reporting. It is required of all grantees that they enter data into IWRS in real time as activities occur. And it's really important to emphasize here that IWRS is the only tracking system that Illinois Works can use for compliance. So if it is not in IWRS, it did not happen. I know that sounds very simple and that, sometimes deviates from what happens on the ground, but it's really important to remember if it is not in the system, we cannot count it for compliance. Now, the Office of Illinois Works, in partnership with Southern Illinois University's Center for Workforce Development, developed IWRS and launched the system in February of 2022. Due to the custom design, IWRS allows grantees to track pre-apprentice program inquiries, participants, and grantee partnerships. This system also allows programs to track key information about participants' progress through their engagement with the program, including their application, their enrollment, announcements, career and support service assessments, enrollment in training modules, attendance, training completions, transitions, and follow-up post-completion. All of this is organized into our Illinois Works pre-apprentice life cycle, as you can see on your screen here. The pre-apprentice life cycle outlines the steps that participants take as they move through the pre-apprenticeship program. It tracks participants' progress from the initial program outreach to the post-transition follow-up. And each stage demonstrates an integral step in preparing participants to enroll in a DOL registered apprenticeship program. As an example, your 2023 grantee cohorts will produce results that we will use to identify the program status at a particular moment in time during the program year. As you can see on your screen, this is just an example of the type of data that is available through the system. From inquiries, applicants, and enrollees to program completion, transitions, and follow-ups, you can see how IWRS can track data following your pre-apprentice participants throughout the cycle. Now, most of you may recognize that pre-apprentice life cycle from our 2023 grantee manual. The 2023 Grantee Manual is a resource for instructions, guidance, tools, and expectations for your program design, implementation, and delivery. You will notice references to this document during this and most other Illinois Works trainings. If you have not yet accessed this document, you can access this through the Illinois Works Partner Guide, which is where this recording is posted. Now let's move on to our next section, where we're going to be talking about signing into IWRS. By the end of this section, you will be able to identify IWRS roles, sign into Illinois workNet, and access the Illinois Works reporting system. So let's start out by examining the roles in IWRS. The following roles are available. The first is service provider. This is going to be your most popular role. This is going to be your individuals, your staff members who are able to access grantee participant information and dashboards. They can enter data, they can edit data. This is the most popular role in our system, as this is going to cover most of your staff. The next role is the service provider program administrator. This is primarily for your program administrators and program managers, and it's access to designated participants, grantee information, and specific reports. So they can see all of the same information your service providers can see. They can also edit that information, but they have access to organizational level data as well. Now, the final two roles are specific for the Illinois Works team. So program managers have regional level access to grantee and customer information and reports, while super administrators, which is myself as well as my counterpart, Dan Martinez, and our partners at SIU, they have access to all aspects of Illinois Works reporting system program tools, and that includes everything from the service provider program administrator roles, as well as additional features that we use during compliance to verify your data. Now let's move on to talking about how to access IWRS. So the first step is you are going to need an Illinois workNet account. If you do not have an Illinois workNet account, you can go ahead to www.illinoisworknet.com. And as you see on your screen, you'll get to their homepage, where in the upper left-hand corner, you will see a sign up button. If you select sign up in the upper left-hand corner, it will bring up a registration form. Will complete that form, and then it will provide you with your credentials for your Illinois workNet account. That is the very first step in getting access. The next step is actually getting logged into your IWRS account. So for those of you who maybe have not yet been added to IWRS, if you've just gotten your Illinois workNet account, you want to work with your program administrator to have them provide you access to IWRS. But once you've been added to IWRS, how do you actually get to the website? How do you log in? So there are two ways. The first way is on the screen here. So once you've signed in to your Illinois workNet account that you just set up, you will scroll down until you see a button or a section called State Partner Resources. And then you will click on the button, as you can see here on the slide, that says View More. When you view more, there will be an additional set of icons that appear, including the Illinois Works Pre-Apprenticeship Program icon. You will go ahead and click on that icon, and it will take you to the Illinois Works Partner Guide, where on the main page you will see these 4 circles. The leftmost circle says Access the Illinois Works Reporting System. You will click on that and it will bring you into the Illinois Works Reporting System and provide you that access you are looking for. Now let's review a second way to access. So we're back on the illinoisworknet.com main page. And once you've signed in, you'll notice a new navigation bar appears. On that navigation bar, the first option is My Dashboard. You will select My Dashboard, and then on the right-hand side, you will select Customer Support Center /IWIS. This will then take you to what is called the Groups Search page, where you will see an option that says IL Works. Clicking on IL Works will bring you into IWRS, and then you're set and ready to go. So now that we have accessed IWRS, let's just do a quick review of the IWRS main page. So by the end of this section, you will be able to navigate the main page and add or update provider information. All right. So at the top of every screen in IWRS, you are going to see the navigation bar that is highlighted here. Let's review the different options on the navigation bar. All the way to the left, you will notice the Illinois Works logo, as well as the Illinois workNet logo. Clicking on either of those will take you back to the illinoisworknet.com homepage. If you ever need to click out of the system or kind of reset, you can click on those and then come right back through your dashboard and your customer support center. The next item is dashboards. So if you click on dashboards, there will be a drop-down menu that appears showing 2 options: assessment or Illinois Works Reporting System. For our purposes with the Illinois Works Pre-Apprenticeship Program, we do not use the assessment button. We only use the Illinois Works Reporting System button. That will take you to your dashboard where you can get an overview of all of the data that you've put into the system, from the number of people that have been enrolled, the number of people that are in specific services, how many people have been followed up with, a whole host of information that you might need. The next button is Groups. This function allows you to return to the Groups search page and navigate back to IWRS. So again, this is another way that you can kind of reset if you need to get back to the main page. The next item, and it's shown on your screen as a small icon that looks like a little bar chart, are your reports. We will explore this section in a little bit more detail in our final section of today's session. And then the last item all the way to the right is you will see hi and then your username. So on our screen here, we see hi Gia Suggs based on her screenshot here. But if you click on that, it's going to give you 5 options, excuse me. The first option is my partner dashboard. The second is a help request. So if you ever need to submit a ticket to SIU, there's a glitch in the system, you need something updated, you'll click on help request to submit a help ticket. Next is Illinois workNet. Clicking on that will bring you back to the Illinois workNet main page. Next is IWN message. So IWN stands for Illinois workNet. And this is in the event that if anyone sends you a message through Illinois workNet, those all will be stored in a page that if you click on IWN message, you'll be taken to a repository of all of the messages you've ever received. And then finally is log off. So that's how you can log out of the system. So next you'll notice on the main page, there are 3 tabs. The first is participant recruitment and engagement, then partner engagement and management, and finally work plan and report. So let's do a review of each of these tabs individually. The participant recruitment and engagement tab houses all participant information and is where you will be able to access individual participant profiles. You can access information by status, so that participant status, enrolled, complete, post-program active tracking, or you can search for a specific participant by name by using the name field. You'll see here the screen also allows you to use the search button. So once you've added that participant's name or you filtered by a specific status, you'll press search to get your list of participants. The next button is export. This is an export report that will provide you with a wealth of information about your participants. And we're going to talk about that report a little bit later in our session today. The next button is Student Support Needs Report. This report provides you with detailed information about any red flags that may be present for your participants. This will give you a per participant, per module breakdown of any post-assessment or attendance red flags for your participants, so you can easily identify them and take care of them. Again, we will talk about that report in a little bit more detail later. And the final button all the way to the right is Add Participant. This will allow you to begin the process of adding your pre-apprentice participants. The next tab that we'll talk about is the Partner Engagement and Management tab. This tab allows you to add and track partner information, and Illinois Works requires that all grantees engage with a range of partners, especially around wraparound support, student support, and transition services. Grantees are required to track partner information and engagement with partners in IWRS through the Partnership Engagement and Management tab on the main page. When you select the Partner Engagement and Management tab, 3 sub-tabs will appear. You can see them highlighted here with a red arrow. The first tab is Partner. This will allow users to add a new partner or search among existing partners. The next tab is Engagement, which allows users to track engagement with partners and add contact notes for partner engagements if necessary. And finally is Contact Notes. So if you are to add a contact note to one of your engagements, say you have a follow-up note or you want to make sure to communicate key information to one of your other staff members about that engagement, if you ever want to get a full list of any contact note that's ever been added for any partner, you can click on the Contact Notes tab. That will list out all of your partner notes that you've ever added. You can filter by the date, you can filter by your partner name, but it just gives you a little bit more ready access to all of those notes instead of having to go engagement by engagement. So finally, we're going to talk about the work plan and report. So the work plan and report is accessible from the IWRS main page. It's our final tab. And this outlines program dates and outcome metrics for each cohort. If you select the work plan and report tab, the report will appear and it will show the recorded outcome metrics and programming dates that Illinois Works uses for your compliance reviews. If outcome metrics or dates are incorrect, please ensure that you reach out to your grant manager and they can rectify the issue. All right, let's now move on to Module 6. We're going to be doing a review of information and then we'll delve into some brand new information around completion. So by the end of this section, you will be able to identify where this IWRS content is located on the pre-apprentice lifecycle. You'll be able to update a completion status, add or update training services information, add attendance records, update the completion status for a goal, and complete a career assessment and a career plan. So during IWRS session 2 and 3, we covered multiple phases of the pre-apprentice life cycle. You can see we covered outreach and recruitment, application, intake, wraparound services, student support services, and training services. So during IWRS session 2, attendees learned how to complete the following in IWRS. Access participant profiles, add a partner and enter a partner engagement and contact note, add a participant lead, complete a pre-screen assessment, submit an application, upload a standardized interview, the standard interview sheets, and interviewer information, complete an enrollment, upload a signed agreement, complete a wraparound assessment, and an orientation career assessment. So if you were not able to make it to IWRS session 2, but any of those items are something you are responsible for, please look at the recording on the Illinois Works Partner Guide that will provide you all of those lessons that I just discussed. Now, during IWRS session 3, attendees learned how to complete the following in IWRS. Navigation instructions, adding and updating transition services, adding attendance records, post-assessment scores and earned credentials, and accessing Illinois Works programmatic and compliance reports. Now, again, if you missed that session, but any of those items are within your scope, go ahead and watch IWRS session 3 for more information on those items. So let's go ahead and review the Illinois Works pre-apprentice life cycle. We will complete the training and services activities and then proceed to the next phase of the life cycle, which we call program completion. As a reminder, training is a process that aims to increase knowledge, develop skills, impact attitudes, and/or influence behaviors in an individual to accomplish a specific job, task, or goal. Training is focused on business needs and driven by time-critical business skills and knowledge. Its goal is to impact and improve performance. During this session, we will cover completion status for services and goals, as well as the required documentation for both of those statuses. Each of these functions is executed under the Training and Services tab. As a reminder, completion refers to the conclusion of instructional training and the beginning of transition services. It makes the start of the stages for which grantees begin to measure impact. It's important to note, however, that programmatic completion and IWRS completion are not the same thing. For most pre-apprenticeship participants, program completion will mark the end of their instructional training and the beginning of their transition to a registered apprenticeship program or to employment. Participants by that point should have received several industry recognized certifications, including but not limited to Trades Futures MC3, which was formerly NAB2, NCCER, ICCB, or other construction curriculum approved by the Illinois Works pre-apprenticeship program, as well as OSHA 10 and First Aid CPR. Additional certifications are listed in Section 7 of the 2023 Grantee Manual, again available on the Illinois Works Partner Guide. Now let's discuss program completion. It is possible that some participants will have additional needs causing them to unsuccessfully complete the program. Some may withdraw from the program, others may be dismissed from the program, but we're going to go ahead and review each of the statuses linked to exiting the program and which statuses will, and those statuses will mark the end of the program participation. So there are 4 statuses available for participants that mark the end of their time with the program. The first is successful completion. This occurs when the participant has met all program requirements and marks participants' completion of classroom, construction lab, and worksite training, and recognizes their attainment of the required certifications. Again, those are going to be NCCER, Trades Futures MC3, ICCB ICCB, or another construction curriculum that's been approved by Illinois Works, as well as OSHA 10 and First Aid CPR. The next status is unsuccessful completion. So some participants may be present throughout the program, but were unable to graduate because there was additional services or tasks that needed to be completed. Student support service coordinators should establish an action plan with these participants to provide a path to successful completion. If participants must wait for a new cohort to achieve completion, grantees should continue their engagement with that participant to ensure that they return and successfully complete the program. The next status is withdrawal. Some participants may withdraw from the program due to unforeseen circumstances that make successful completion difficult or impossible. So this could be things like moving out of state, maybe they decide they're no longer interested in construction, or they have some sort of life change like an illness, or they need to care